IELTS Cue Card Band 8 sample. Describe a time you use your cell phone to do something important, and you should say when it happened, what you used your phone for, and why it was important, and explain how you felt about it. Sample. Today, I would like to talk about a time when my phone really came in handy. It was a few months back when I heard some loud noises coming from my neighbor's house. I didn't think much of it at first, but it started getting louder, and it was clear things were not right. I felt like I was stuck between a rock and a hard place because I didn't want to get involved. But I knew I had to do something. So I used my phone to call the police. It was one of those moments where I felt a bit nervous, but deep down, I knew I was doing the right thing. The police arrived pretty quickly, and honestly, I was on pins and needles until they got there. And afterward, they handled everything and all started to calm down. I remember feeling like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I was not just sitting on the sidelines, I had actually helped. It's funny how something as small as a phone can make all the difference when it's really needed. I felt over the moon, knowing that I had played a part in making sure the situation didn't get worse, and my soul became my knight in shining armor that day, for sure. Example 2. Describe an invention that is useful in your daily life. You should say what the invention is, how it helps you, and how often you use it, and explain why it is important to you. Sample. Today I would like to talk about my lifesaver, my wireless headphones. They have become part and parcel of my daily routine, and honestly, I don't know what I would do without them. Whether I'm working, traveling, or just chilling, these little gadgets make everything so much easier. The best thing about them is that they are a godsend for multitasking. I can move around freely without worrying about tangled wires, which is especially handy when I'm not on the go. And for example, I use them when I go for my morning walk, listen to podcasts while cooking, and even during those endless Zoom meetings. It's like having my hands free and my money in the zone. I've got to admit, these headphones are worth the weight in gold. The sound quality is amazing and they block out all the noise around me, so I feel like I am in my own bubble. It's also a real game changer when I need some peace and quiet in a crowded place. What's more, they last for hours without needing a charge, which is just the icing on the cake. And all in all, wireless headphones have definitely become my right-hand man in a daily life, and I can't imagine my life without them. Example 3. Describe a countryside area you have been to and you should say where it is, what the place looked like, and when you went there, who you went with, and explain why you liked or disliked the place. Sample. Today I want to chat about the incredible little village I visited in Simla, called Masobra. It's honestly a slice of heaven. Nestled in the hills, the first thing that struck me was how breathtaking the scenery was, green as far as the eye could see, with majestic snow-capped mountain in the distance. You know, the kind of place where every corner looks like it belongs on a postcard. I went there about 2 years ago, just as the weather was starting to warm up in April, and then I was with my close-knit group of friends, and we were all craving an escape from our fast-paced lives. Let me tell you, the air there is so fresh. It's like a breath of fresh air, literally. We stayed in a cozy little cottage, and waking up to the view of the hills every morning felt like a dream come true. What I loved most was the simplicity of the life there. No rush, no noise, just peace and quiet. The villagers were incredibly kind. And the whole vibe of the place just made me feel on a cloud nine. We spent our days exploring the nearby apple orchards, sitting by a small stream, and just soaking up the laid back atmosphere. It was exactly what I needed to get my energy back on track. And I can honestly say that the trip did wonders for my souls. And if anyone's looking for a break from the chaos, Masobra is the perfect retreat. It's one of those places you can go, you know? Example 4. Describe a time something changed in your life in a good way, and you should say what the change was, when it happened, how it affected you, and explain why it was a positive change. Sample. Today, I'm going to talk about my decision that really flipped my life upside down in the best possible way. A couple of years ago, I was fed up with the never-ending traffic on my way to work, and that's when I decided to ditch my scooter and start commuting by metro. To be honest, at first, I was not sold on the idea, but it turned out to be a total game changer. I remember it clearly. I was always stressed out, racing against time, dodging traffic, and still ending up late to work. But once I switched to the metro, it was like a weight off my shoulders. And suddenly I had all this freedom during my commute, which I never had before. I started reading, listening to audiobook, and even catching up on some emails. It was like I would find some hidden hours in the day. And this change did more than just save time. It made me feel like a new person. I had more energy, less stress, and I was not constantly on edge anymore. The extra productivity even caught my boss's attention, and soon enough, I was on a cloud nine with a promotion. Looking back, that one little switch in my routine really opened doors for me. It's crazy how something so simple can set off a chain reaction of good things in my life. Example 5. Describe a place you have been to and would like to recommend others to live there, not your hometown, of course. And you should say where is it, what the place is like, when you visited there, and who you went there with, and explain why you would recommend this place to others. Sample. Today, I would like to tell you about a place I think would be amazing to live in, Aurobindo Ashram in Pondicherry, India. I went there a couple of years ago with my family, and honestly, the peace and calm there blew my mind from the very moment I arrived. I felt like this could be the perfect spot to settle down. The environment is so laid back and chilled out, and this whole place just feels like it's built for a peaceful life. And the air feels fresher, the streets are quieter, and there is this feeling of simplicity that makes you want to stay forever. It's the kind of place where you can kick back and relax away from the usual hustle and bustle of the city life. And I imagine living here would be like having a constant breath of fresh air. The ashram surroundings are really serene, with the beautifully maintained gardens and simple welcoming architecture. If anyone wants to focus on self-growth or even just enjoy a slower pace of life, this place ticks all the boxes. It's also super easy to get around with everything one needs nearby, but without the crazy noise and stress that most cities have. I would say Pondicherry, especially around the ashram, is the hidden gem for anyone looking to reside somewhere peaceful yet enriching. And if you are into the balance, calm lifestyle, this is where you should be. Example 6. Describe a person who contributes to society. You should say who this person is, how you know him or her, what type of work he or she does, and explain how this person helps society. Sample. Today I'm going to talk about my neighbor Sam, who is absolute gem when it comes to helping others. He is in the army, and I have known him for a while now, since we have been neighbors for over 5 years. Honestly, Sam's the kind of guy who does not just talk the talk, but really walks the walk when it comes to making a difference. In his role as an army officer, he's involved in a lot of demanding work, but it's not just about his military duty. Sam is always lending a hand to people around him, whether it's disaster relief or community cleanups. He's always in the thick of things, doing his bit. He's got his finger in a lot of pies. From helping out with emergency services to mentoring kids in the neighborhood, what blows my mind is how much time he still finds to give back. Even after his long, grueling work shift, he is always up for organizing local events and he is constantly encouraging the youth to get involved in activities that help the community. He's just the kind of person who goes above and beyond. All in all, he is one of those rare people who just seem to have a heart of gold. His dedication to the community and his willingness to always go the extra mile makes him someone I can help but admire. Example number 8. Describe an item you received for free. You should say what the item was, when you received it, why you received it, and how you felt about it. Sample. Today I'm going to tell you about a little surprise I got for free, a Parker pen. Yeah, it was totally unexpected and came as a bonus. When I bought a new oven during the New Year sales, I was not even on the lookout for any extras. But you know how they try to sweeten the deal during the sales. I went to buy the oven, and when I paid for it, the salesperson smiled and handed me this fancy box. I was like, what is this? And she answered that it was a gift. Honestly, I felt like I hit the jackpot. I mean, who does not love a free piece, right? It was a sleek Parker pen, and I couldn't help but feel like I would luck out big time. They were probably giving them away to reel in more customers, but hey, I'm not complaining. It made me feel like I would score the cherry on top of my purchase. I'm usually not one to get excited over things like this, but the pen was such a nice touch. Every time I use it, now I'm over the moon, and it reminds me of that awesome shopping day.